Hi, travelers. This is going to be your open general tarot card reading for November, the week of November 14th through the 20th. I was unable to get a reading to you last week because I had a couple of doctor's appointments, my EEG, and some other stuff happening. Also, Hannah passed her driving, the actual driving portion of her test. So I will be taking her tomorrow up to the DMV to get her driver's license. And I told her that she's almost a full-fledged citizen. She's got a job. She's bought a car. She's got a driver's license. She's voted. The last step is to pay taxes. And then you're a full-fledged grown-up citizen according to the law here in America. So I'm super excited about that for her. My mechanic has been under the weather. He's had some surgery. So her car is still haven't been worked on yet, but that's okay. She can drive my car in the meantime. As for my health, it comes and it goes. I spent last week shoveling mulch off my driveway. Didn't have any tremors, and then just starting Sunday, I've been having them off and on. I haven't gotten the results back from the EEG, and I don't know if I'm going to get them or if somebody's going to call me with them or whatever the case may be. So, Nyla, you're going to be reading them for me. So, and so that's that. That's what's happening with me. I hope everyone is okay, as best can be expected. The midterms, I don't know. I wasn't excited. It wasn't a nail biter for me. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? I have down on the table, though, something I started working on yesterday. And the question was about the midterms and the upcoming 2024 presidential election. And so I'm going to go ahead and show this. I'm just going to tease it out to you, show you the cards here from Nostradamus. Was able to find my little book. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this around. And after I show you this, we're going to get started with the reading because I have already done some shuffling and meditation on the deck. But as you can see here, we have the Three of Moons, the Nine of Moons, the Chariot, which is a very, very interesting card in terms of the quatrain, and then this odd Devil card that the quatrain kind of doesn't make sense to me. So I typed them all up. And usually what I do with Nostradamus is this is what I will do. I will lay the cards out. I will research the quatrains, write them all out, and then see what impressions come to me. And these three cards here make sense. And we've seen this card before on several occasions, right around the when was our last presidential election? Because I don't even know. Was it 2018? Okay. Or 2020. So that card kept coming out as related to that election, and it has made a reappearance. And interestingly enough, it refers to two things. It refers to Mercury, the planet of communications, speech, the media, the internet. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, the news, newspapers, letters, posts, people who talk. But it also references the eclipse. And we have two eclipses coming up over the next, from 2023 to 2024, that will fall across America, like the great eclipse of August 21st, 2017. So this is what I'm looking at. When I get it together, I will come back and post this reading because T Height over on Twitter has been asking me questions, and I at the moment just don't have no answers for her. Okay, I've already taken a picture of that so I can recreate it. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to pull 9 cards. This is general. It's for no specific time frame and no specific sign. We're just going to open the cards to see what messages the cards have to convey. So for some of you, this story may not resonate at all, but I always try to include something in it, even if you don't, if the story doesn't resonate, I always try to give you something in it that you can use. We will more than likely, if need be, clarify with the Levita Sabila, and then, depending on what the story is, we'll determine the oracle card that we wrap the reading up with. So, I'm going to give one more shuffle and one more rifle, and we're going to get directly into the reading. Oh, well. You know what? This is the 3rd week of November. Can you believe that? 2 weeks from today, we will be in December. This year is over. I cannot believe that. Like, what the hell? It went so fast, did it not? Okay. They say not to do a cut. All right, so here we go. First card, you saw it fall out. The Queen of Pentacles. I want to cut. I'm so used to cutting, but they say not to cut. Next card. Wow. The Devil. Third card. Oh, well. The Page of Pentacles. Well, that's kind of a loaded sentence. Okay. The Three of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles here. The Hierophant. And whenever these two cards come out together, it's always striking, and I'll show you why. The Page of Swords. So now I have 2 pages, 2 major arcana, 3 pentacles, and a sword. Last row. Oh, wow. The Knight of Pentacles. Huh. The Strength card. Isn't that something? And the 8 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So what I'm going to say right off the bat is there are, at a minimum, 3 people involved in this. It could be more. Okay. And what I'm going to show you is, first of all, traditionally the court cards represent people. For me, the pages and the knights always represent news and messages. Okay. But traditionally they represent people. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 people. But we've got 3 figures here. We've got 3 figures here. And we've got 3 figures there. So at a minimum, at least 3 people. Okay. Now, what I was saying to you about the striking imagery of the Devil and the Hierophant coming out together. It is the exact same imagery. The only difference is he's holding the staff up. His staff on fire is being held down. We have the central figure, both of them seated. He's on a throne. He's on a block of rock. The hand signal. The Hierophant has this. The Devil has that. We have the 2 figures there. Here's a key. Here's a lock. And even on the pillars here behind him are kind of representative of the wings and the shape of the horns of the Devil. Okay. So I always find that very striking when they come out, because they are mirror images of each other. In a sense, the light and the dark, but you would assume that this would be the light and this would be the dark, but every card has its positive and its negative. So this could be light and that could be dark. Okay, so we'll look at that further in a moment. I have absolutely no repeater numbers, but what I do have in the center is the number 5, the Hierophant. 5s speak of ups and downs, disappointments, strife, tension, anxiety, changes. But for the Hierophant, the message of the Hierophant is that you first should try to tap into your own intuition. Get your source, your information from a higher source. This could represent a person, but it could also represent an organization, a church. Okay. where there is a hierarchical structure. He's talking to me, but I'm not quite sure exactly what he's saying. It represents the planet Venus, so it can speak to right relationships. He's being squirrely, so I'm going to come back to him. What I have is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this normally represents a, pardon me, I'm having a slight tremor, so just bear with me a second. Okay. Normally this represents an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. In terms of, if that's not you, then this can be the idea that you are a business owner or you work in an industry, banking, accounting, environmental, or it can simply mean that you are, quote unquote, handling your money. Okay? Past, present, future. And the devil comes up. And when I laid it out, I said, that's an interesting sentence. Because the devil can be the idea that there's something tempting. A tempting offer, a tempting situation, control, power issues, obsession. But the devil can also just simply mean hard work. He represents Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of hard work. He's the taskmaster. And anybody who's ever been through a Saturn transit can tell you it's a tough thing. And what that means is it really is about commitment. Both of these cards are about commitment. Okay? In terms of the devil, what do you commit yourself to? What do you chain yourself to? Okay? But the thing is that those figures, you can see the chains are not very tight around their necks, so they can actually free themselves if this is what they choose to do. But if it's something that you are committed to doing, it is saying you need to roll up your sleeves to do the hard work. It's about the idea of work, play, and sleep, in a sense. What do we have to do? What obligations or responsibilities do we have to pay our rent, to put gas in our car, to feed ourselves, to clothe ourselves and our children? That kind of commitment, okay? So the devil can be tricky. And then we see the Page of Pentacles. Now, normally the Page of Pentacles speaks about the ability to learn how, not always just how to do things, but yes, that too, because pentacles are not just about finances. They are about the doing of stuff. Okay. And I think for this, what's coming across with these two cards is that it's something you've been working on and it's been a long, hard slog, but you've been doing it. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles comes along to say there is a message here, some news, perhaps a financial message. But the Page of Pentacles is a student. So this is about researching. It is about the practical application of whatever your skills are. So I've seen this card show up when it's a job offer coming to you, or the ability or the opportunity to maybe join forces with someone else. You see, we got the two people here. And this is backed up by this Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles says you can expect financial gains and improvements, perhaps promotions, but also the idea of perhaps slowing down and doing and looking over your plans. We can see the two people have come to this artisan, this craftsman here, with their plans. Because he's on a bench, it implies that he has a bit more knowledge, perhaps, and skill than these two people. But it also talks about the building of a cornerstone. So this is about building something solid. Again, we come with this devil energy. And then the Hierophant comes along. Now, I've seen the Hierophant kind of show up when it talks about not necessarily going into contracts with people, but because Venus can represent contracts, and you see the idea of two people being married together, okay? All right. So this is about some type of contractual issue. We know that marriage is a contract. We know that if we buy something, most times we got to sign some kind of contract, if it's a house or if it's a car or even a credit card. So it's a contractual issue. And then we see the Page of Swords. Now, sometimes this Page of Swords, again, the Page of Swords is a student of communication, okay? As he is a student of the practical application of skills, he's a student of communication because that's what the swords represent. Thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communications. And so the page comes along to say you can expect a message. So I've got two messages here, okay? These are kind of tentative messages. Eventually, the Page of Pentacles, the message fleshes out a bit more. But the thing with the Page of Swords is it asks you to be careful because you may get some kind of news that is unsettling, or you may be dealing with someone who's trying to, for lack of a better term, sabotage you, okay? But we shall see how that plays out because I'm going to take a look at him. But then we see the Knight of Pentacles, the more fully fledged message, because next in line is the Queen, all right? And so the Knight of Pentacles says that whatever news that is on its way will be coming. It's slower than perhaps maybe you wanted it to arrive, but typically it's good news. It is something that you've been waiting on, and it's good news, and it portends that whatever the situation, it's now about to move on, because sometimes the devil can be about stuck energy, and the Hierophant can be about people who are rather dogmatic and stubborn and don't want to move, okay? So we see this Knight of Pentacles coming, and he's bringing us good news. Hasn't arrived yet, but it's on its way. And then we come to the Strength card. The number 8, 8s are usually numbers of money. They're also karmic numbers. They're typically very good. But the 8 says to you that it can also be some kind of delay or obstacle or hassle that comes up. But what I like about the Strength card says to you to whatever the situation, whatever the outcome or what you think or fear the outcome will be, it is to conquer your fear. So let's say, for instance, you've gotten this job offer and it's a huge promotion that's going to require a whole lot of responsibility, and you're a bit afraid of that, okay? But it's something you've been working on for quite some time. I see it here, okay? And so this is about conquering your fear. It's not about beating your fear over the head. It's not about whipping it with a whip or shooting a gun at it. It's simply about calming your mind, calming your spirit, and approaching it from a manner of gentleness. Be kind to yourself as you make whatever this movement or transition is. And then on the back side of this, I find the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles does talk about work. I got 2 8s. I didn't even recognize that. This person is literally making money. So this could be the idea that you're setting up a new store. You're going to be showing off your wares. It could be that you're going to be in a position of an internship here. And let me back up, because even if you are a male or identify with the male role, you can still be a Queen of Pentacles. That's a more receptive energy. What am I going to do with my money? Or how am I going to handle my money in the meantime while I'm looking at this? It's a more receptive energy. It's not the King, which is a more forward-facing energy. So here we have this 8 of Pentacles. And usually this too kind of says you can expect to hear some news in regards to some type of project, artisans, crafts, employment, financial improvement. So what I'm looking at, I have 4 pentacle cards, And interestingly, they're all at the four corners. So to me, this is kind of a block. All right. And what is happening is everything across the center here, across this present row, and across this present column. All right. Sometimes this Page of Swords, if not a nasty individual or an unsettling, can be something that arrives rather swiftly. But it could be the idea that the contract goes swiftly, okay? But then, or you get some kind of news, and that's why these two are throwing me right now, so I'm going to look at these. But then it kind of arrives in a slow manner. And what you've been doing is you've been stressing over it and worrying about it. And this card can also say sometimes that instead of doing that, you need to find something to do with yourself in the meantime. Okay? Now, what I haven't done is turned over the overall energy of the spread. It is the Queen of Cups. I mean, 5 people. Jesus. And so the Queen of Cups is, I feel in this instance, it's not speaking about a person. It is actually talking about the emotional quotient. Whatever this thing is, you are highly invested in it in both a physical manner, but also an emotional manner. Okay? And this card is about intuition. It is also about kindness and gentleness. Okay? Creativity. Perhaps some of you are having dreams or ideas that are coming to you, in which case, get it down on paper. I always say, write it out. Do it, write it out. All right? Now, the 2/8 can say, one second. This is not, to me, a romantic relationship. I don't feel that it is. I really don't. But it could be some type of partnership possibility for sure. The 2/8 speak to, let me get to it. Don't forgive me because my mind just wanders sometimes. A slight concern in regards to a new romance, relationship, or partnership. Now, the reason why I say I don't necessarily see that this is a romantic relationship, there are no cups in this. But that still doesn't mean that that's not true, right? Okay? And the slight concern for me is the Page of Swords. All right? So that's the meaning of my 2/8. If it's a romantic situation, on the off chance, 2/8 say you will receive news that affects the relationship. Well, yeah, for sure. But what type of relationship? I feel that this is a work relationship or a business type of relationship. I even get the sense that some of you, again, that word premonition keeps coming up. Your intuition is telling you that this situation is coming up. And your intuition is kind of giving you an idea of how it's going to play out. So to me, the surprise element is this person. Okay? Now, because I have all of these court cards here, I can't really look at them to give you any extra information. And look at what that does. It only leaves me the 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles as they relate to these 3 cards. And interestingly enough, let's see, that's 1, let's see, that's 3. From the 3 to the 8 is 5 Pentacles. 5 again is the idea of changes and ups and downs. And one other thing I'm going to tell you, this with this implied 5 of Pentacles. Sometimes, let me back up. Venus is, when I say about right relationships, so this is about fairness, this is about respect, it is about people and situations that elevate you, okay? But sometimes we don't have people in our lives that elevate us, so this is about elevating ourselves. Sometimes when our finances are wonky, we can feel less than, okay? And I always tell you guys that love and money are 2 different sides of the same coin because they equate to value, all right? So let's say you're working in a job that you're busting your butt, but they're not giving you a promotion, they're not giving you a raise, they're not telling you, patting you on the back. They don't value you, okay? Right? So the same thing can be in a romantic relationship. You go out of your way, or you do whatever it is you do in the relationship, but the person doesn't appreciate it and they disrespect you, right? That's because they don't value you. So this is that Five of Pentacles implied, all right? So let me go to the Three of Pentacles, the Suit of Pentacles here. And it tells me nothing. It tells me absolutely nothing. Except that it asks that you expand your horizons and investigate the spiritual perfection that is freely available, and know that it is to be used for the highest good, power, authority, and right action. There's that. Now I'm going to move over to the Eight of Pentacles. Very interesting. Doesn't tell me anything, and this can be that energy where you feel like you're working and working and working, but nothing has actually come in yet. You haven't received that reward yet. But with Three other Pentacles, 1, 2, 3. It is an indication that a feeling of great satisfaction will be yours, as there will be a well-earned increase in finances. Okay? Now, I think this is an important message. We know that, you know, things are costing more. It's the cost of living is gone up. The Fed has raised interest rates 3 times, are set to raise them again in January. We're not quite sure. We're going to be waiting on that. Here in America, we're talking about inflation, but it's not near as bad as in other countries. But that's because we don't get paid as much as other countries, and we're not, you know, we don't band together as workers to ask for better pay and conditions for ourselves. And so, to me, I'm going to give you another message. So it's talking about the idea that your financial situation is going to change for the better. It's not saying you're going to get super rich. Okay? It's just saying you're going to get that well-earned increase in financial rewards that are due you at this particular time. But I wrote a series of articles over on Substack, my newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for the free newsletter, please do. You can find the little icon in the channel art. And I wrote a four article series on getting out of debt. So sometimes what happens, you know, we get money, we get that boost of income that we need, and then we start spending it like water. And Christmas is coming up. All those black deal specials are going to be in your face. So I would say that this is a time for you to really not be tempted, and to really be very thoughtful about how you are going to utilize, because your income is your greatest wealth building tool, right? So this to me is about being thoughtful, maybe even getting some advice from someone about what you should do, okay? But you want to be careful. So what I'm going to do is take a look. I don't think this devil is anything bad. This could be the idea in one respect that some of y'all spend money like it grows on trees, you know, in the pursuit of, I don't know, feeling good, looking good, status symbol, you know, what we call fronting. Saturn does rule the 10th house of the zodiac. That's the most public house there is. And it represents your status, your ambition. What do you want to be known for? You know, that kind of a thing. So that's for some of you, not all of you. My goal is to be debt free, and I'm going to try to have at least 2 of my credit cards paid off by the end of January. That just leaves the one with the highest balance on it. And mostly everybody I know has literally been living on their credit cards. You know? Let's take a look at this Page of Swords. And with those 3 interest rates hikes, oh, yikes. The Doctore, the Superbia, and the Belvedere. Well, so that's not bad. But the Doctore is typically someone who can help you. That is his main role. He will be a degreed individual. So when I say the doctore and a degree, he could be an accountant, he could be a banker, he could be a financial advisor. Okay, he's not just a doctor. He's typically someone who can help. That is his general role. Then we come to the Superbia, which is one of the only the two lucky cards. There's only two lucky cards in the Sabilas, and the Superbia is one of them. And the Superbia says it is the Two of Wands, or Two of Clubs, pardon me. Let me get to it. It indicates a divine protection that is so strong it will be able to shield you from any and all misfortune. Now, there's this trine that's happening between Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, which kind of means that while all of this financial upheaval is going on, in a way we're kind of a bit protected. It's not that we're not getting dings and hits, but we're a bit protected. But anybody can embody the energies of this earth. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Anybody can do that. It's about rethinking what you are doing and how you are doing it. Now, it says that it's able to shield you from any and all misfortune. No matter how many people may be affected by negativity, you will remain untouched and prosper. It represents a powerful divine blessing, but it also represents an oath other than marriage. So remember, we're talking about a contractual issue. If it's not a written oath contract, then it could be a spoken contract. In business, it represents prosperity, good fortune, fame, recognition, success, career, and social advancement. If this is a love thing, it represents a conquest, happiness, and a lasting union. It can also indicate celebrity. Remember, we're talking about the 10th house. And someone being known by their reputation or being in the public eye. It is a card that also represents beauty and good looks. The card marks a period of good luck and success. It represents joy, happiness, positive new encounters with people. It represents the fulfillment of a dream and a prayer that will be answered. But it also has a mild connection to vanity and the love of luxury and spending money on one's appearance. So it can mark someone who is overly concerned with his or her looks and or social position. So the person can be a bit standoffish, okay? Now, I'm not exactly sure if that is describing this doctore. In a way it is. It's two things. It's describing this doctore, this individual who may be willing to help you, sending you a message, okay? But it also says that you are afforded some protection in this. And I think that's why it ends in this. And then we see the Belvedere. And I like this card a lot. The Belvedere is a card about the arrival, the imminent arrival of something or someone. And when I say something, news or an opportunity in a very short period of time. However, she is holding the telescope the wrong way. So the depiction is not only are you observing something coming towards you from afar, okay? Not only that you are observing something from afar, but that it is coming towards you. It says that whatever or whoever is going to arrive will be indicated by the cards that follow. Well, I don't have any cards that follow of this thing. So it says it can indicate that something has not fully taken shape and that the future has usually not yet been defined. So if there's some changes needed, there's still time to do that. So remember, we're talking about this Three of Pentacles, the idea of looking over your stuff. Slow down and look over your plans. It can indicate the unavoidable arrival of something or someone. But emotionally, up here, it indicates anxiety, trepidation, or impatience. All emotions associated with the uncertainty of waiting for something or someone to arrive. And it also warns you, do not pry into other people's lives, but mind your own business. It invites you to look inward instead and do some introspection and self-analysis of your own behavior. Again, with the telescope turned around the wrong way. But the good news, on a positive note, is that it indicates the arrival of good surprises. Okay? It is a card connected to long distances, faraway places, and locations abroad. So I don't know necessarily what that means for any of you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a Golden Nostradamus card. I hope this reading lasts you through the week. If you would like to get a personal reading, this is general, so it's not going to apply to all of you. This story can't be for everybody, right? So in order to gain any insight into your own personal situation does require a personal reading, all right? You can go to the About Box section of the channel where you can see the reading packages that I have, and I've whittled them down to 3 because I just, am not... Anyway, and you can email me. You simply email me, let me know what package that you want. I'll send you the link for payment, and then I'll contact you back, and you can post your questions to the email. So just because my website is no longer up does not mean I am not doing personal readings. I've had a lot of you contact me saying you heard that I was not doing personal readings. I am still doing personal readings, okay? I just had to kind of lower my stress level. So, formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. This is a really good reading, and I'm glad I could bring it to you guys. And in fact, there's 2 4s here as well. You got your 2 8s. I didn't read you the 2 pages. You got your 2 4s. This is 14, so 1 and 4 is 5. 2 5s can be constant bickering and backstabbing from other people. And ill will can affect a relationship, jealousy perhaps, or obsession. But 2 5s also say that there are new experiences to come ahead. I didn't give you the 2 pages. Let me give you the 2 pages. And I don't know if this is actually true. It says it can sometimes 2 pages indicate a short-term illness. But when it talks about that, it's like a cold or an allergy, or maybe you're just not feeling yourself, okay? And so that pretty much is what that means. And so I hope you formulated your question, because now I'm going to pull this card. I'm having difficulty with my hand. Okay, and hopefully these are all right. Yeah, they are. I think so. If not, I'll fix it. All right, here's your card. It is the Chimera. The Chimera. The overly avid often find something that leads to an unhappy and painful life. This card is a reminder to be concrete. Let go of your dreams and illusions. Leave behind excess ambition. It says that misfortune will not strike you if you have ideals in keeping with your skills. Now, I don't know what that means. So remember I was talking to you about this card, people who are overly concerned with their status or whatever. So this card is saying that the Chimera is saying that you might need to let that go at the moment. Be more realistic. Be more grounded. Even the Hierophant is an earth card because it represents the sign of Taurus. Okay? Be more grounded. Be more realistic. And so that is the message that I have for you. I hope this helps. And until I see you again, be good to yourselves. Bye.